The Puppet Masters, the dark psychology of digital gaslighting. Right now, as you sit in the quiet comfort of your room watching this video, an invisible war is being fought. And the primary battlefield is the chemistry of your brain. You think you are the one in control. You believe that when you pick up your phone, unlock the screen, and scroll through your feed, you are making a conscious, deliberate choice. You think your opinions on politics, your taste in clothing, your sudden anxieties about your future, and even your current mood are entirely your own creation. But psychological science tells a much darker story. In the year 2026, behavioral psychology has been completely weaponized. The world's most powerful tech companies don't hire engineers to fix software anymore. They hire behaviorists, neuroscientists, and psychological profiles to exploit the evolutional glitches in the human mind. They are using a highly covert collection of manipulation tactics known as dark psychology, coercive mechanics designed to bypass your rational thought, trigger your deepest evolutionary vulnerabilities, and subtly alter your behavior without you ever realizing you are being steered. This isn't just about addictive apps or catchy algorithms. This is a systemic process of digital gaslighting. It is the intentional distortion of your reality to manufacture perpetual insecurity, calculated outrage, and emotional dependence. How are they doing it? What are the exact behavioral traps being set for you every single day? And more importantly, how do you untangle your mind from a system that knows you better than you know yourself? Let's pull back the curtain on the 3 psychological weapons turning you into a digital puppet. Weapon 1, the amygdala hijack and manufactured rage. To understand how your reality is manipulated, we have to look thousands of years into our evolutionary past. Survival in the ancient world required humans to be intensely hyper-aware of threats. If a bush rustled, the brain didn't analyze it logically. It immediately flooded the body with cortisol and adrenaline. Fight or flight. The control center for this survival mechanism is a tiny, almond-shaped cluster of nuclei deep inside your temporal lobe called the amygdala. Look at that data. Your brain reacts emotionally 12 milliseconds before it can think logically. And that precise 12-millisecond gap is where dark psychology operators make billions of dollars. In modern media, this strategy has evolved into a highly profitable metric: rage baiting. Behavioral studies show that content that triggers high arousal negative emotions, specifically anger, moral outrage, and tribal fear, spreads up to 4 times faster across digital networks than neutral or positive information. The platform's code doesn't care if a piece of information is true, healthy, or good for your mental stability. The code only tracks engagement velocity. When you see a post that makes your chest tighten, causes your heart rate to spike, or makes you instantly want to type a furious comment in defense of your identity, you have just experienced a textbook amygdala hijack. You didn't choose to engage. Your evolutionary survival hardware was hijacked to serve as a biological node in an advertising machine. Over time, this constant state of low-level threat conditioning permanently rewires your nervous system, keeping you trapped in a perpetual loop of anxiety and defensiveness. Weapon 2, variable reward schedules. If manufactured rage gets you through the door, the second weapon ensures you never leave. It is a psychological trick taken straight out of the neon-lit floors of Las Vegas casino parlors: the variable reward schedule. In the 1950s, behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner conducted a famous experiment with pigeons. He placed them in cages with a lever that dispensed food. When the reward is completely unpredictable, the brain's dopamine pathways go haywire. The anticipation of the reward releases significantly more dopamine than the reward itself. Every time you use your thumb to pull down on an application feed to refresh it, you are pulling the arm of a psychological slot machine. Will you get a hit of validation, a notification, a funny video, a piece of shocking news, or will you get absolutely nothing? It is the uncertainty that keeps you locked in place. Dark psychology designers intentionally build these micro delays into your applications. Have you ever noticed how a video feed takes an extra second to load, or how notifications sometimes appear in bundles rather than all at once? That isn't a slow internet connection. That is a calculated choice. The system is intentionally withholding the reward to maximize the dopamine buildup in your brain, ensuring that when the notification finally pops up, the neurological hit is as intense as possible. You aren't using a tool. You are living inside a human-scale Skinner box. Identity and security retargeting. The third and arguably most dangerous weapon used against you is a concept called identity and security retargeting. Traditional advertising used to be broad. A commercial would air on television telling everyone that they needed a better vacuum cleaner or a newer car. It was inefficient, blunt, and easily ignored. Today, predictive analytics and behavioral tracking have turned advertising into a precision sniper rifle aimed directly at your deepest personal insecurities. If you give an algorithm enough data points on a human being's behavioral patterns, it won't just predict what they want to buy, notes a data ethics researcher. It will map out exactly what they are ashamed of. The algorithms track metrics you don't even think about. They know exactly how many milliseconds you pause on a photo of a specific body type. They track the tone of the words you type into private search bars at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. They notice when your typing speed slows down, indicating fatigue, confusion, or emotional vulnerability. Once the system identifies a psychological fracture point, whether it's a fear of aging, social isolation, relationship anxiety, or career insecurity, it doesn't try to comfort you. It expands the crack. It begins feeding you content that subtly validates and heightens that specific insecurity. It isolates you in an echo chamber of your own doubts. And then, at the exact moment your psychological defense mechanisms are at their absolute lowest point, it presents the solution. A consumer product, a subscription, a lifestyle trend, or a digital course. It creates the sickness in your mind, lets you suffer in the dark, and then charges you a premium for the cure. The liberation playbook. The realization that your mind is being actively manipulated can feel overwhelming. It can make you feel powerless, like a leaf caught in a technological hurricane. But dark psychology only works as long as it remains invisible. The moment you become conscious of the mechanics, the spell begins to break. To reclaim your cognitive sovereignty, you must implement a strict mental liberation playbook. Start small. Turn off your notifications. Do not let a piece of code decide when you look at a screen. Force yourself to pause for 10 seconds whenever you feel a wave of digital anger or panic rising in your chest. Give your prefrontal cortex the time it needs to wake up and take the wheel. The systems built around us are designed to capture your attention and monetize your vulnerabilities. They want you distracted, insecure, and reactive. Because a distracted mind is easily managed, an insecure mind is easily sold to, and a reactive mind is easily controlled. The greatest act of rebellion you can commit in the modern world is simple. Own your own mind.